Hello everyone, and welcome to Mystic Whisper, your guide to the mystical and the magical. Today we're going to talk about something that many of you might resonate with, the 7 signs your isolation phase is ending. If you've been feeling like you're in a season of isolation, where life feels like time has slowed down, you're spending more time alone, and perhaps going through deep inner work, know that this phase has a purpose. Isolation often comes when the universe is preparing you for something greater. It's a time for self-discovery, healing, and growth, but it's not a permanent state. Today, we're going to explore 7 signs that indicate your isolation phase is finally coming to an end, and you're about to step into a new chapter of life. A chapter that brings more growth, connection, and abundance than you could have imagined. One of the first signs that your isolation phase is coming to an end is a renewed sense of clarity about your life's direction. During isolation, it's common to feel lost or unsure of your purpose. You may have spent months or even years questioning your path, unsure of what the future holds. But as you near the end of this phase, things start to fall into place. That fog of uncertainty begins to lift, and you gain a clearer understanding of why you went through this period of solitude. You may realize that everything you experienced was preparing you for the next stage of your life. This newfound clarity is like a light bulb moment where your vision for the future becomes sharp and focused. You start to get excited about new ideas, goals, or opportunities. Instead of feeling stuck or stagnant, you feel energized to take action. You no longer feel burdened by confusion or self-doubt. Instead, you find yourself motivated, focused, and ready to pursue your next steps with confidence. This is a powerful sign that the isolation phase is ending, and you are now equipped with the knowledge and insight you need to move forward. Another strong indication that your isolation phase is ending is that you're starting to reconnect with your inner strength. During isolation, you may have felt like external support systems, such as friendships, family, or career opportunities, were pulled away. This can be incredibly challenging, especially if you felt abandoned or unsupported. However, this phase of solitude often has a hidden purpose, to push you to turn inward and discover just how strong you really are. You may have been forced to face difficult situations on your own, and while it may have felt lonely at times, it was shaping you into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Now, as you near the end of this phase, you'll start to feel that inner power rising within you. You realize that you've survived the tough times, and not only have you survived, you've grown stronger because of them. This reconnection with your inner strength is empowering. You know now that you don't need to rely on external validation or support to feel strong or capable. You've learned to trust yourself and your ability to navigate life's challenges, and this sense of personal power will serve you well as you step into the next chapter of your journey. When you're deep in the isolation phase, it can often feel like life has slowed to a standstill. Social invitations may have dried up, relationships may have shifted or faded, and new opportunities might have been hard to come by. It's easy to feel forgotten or left behind during this time. But as your isolation phase comes to an end, you'll notice a significant shift. Slowly but surely, new connections, opportunities, and experiences will begin to make their way into your life. This is often one of the most exciting signs that isolation is over. People may start reaching out to you more frequently, whether it's old friends reconnecting or new relationships forming. You'll also notice that opportunities that align with your goals and desires start to come your way. Perhaps new job offers, creative projects, or even financial opportunities begin to surface, almost as if the universe is finally saying, "Now is your time." It's important to pay attention to these new connections and opportunities. They're not random coincidences. These are signs that the universe is opening doors for you, reminding you that you are ready to step back into the world. These new experiences are aligned with your higher self, and they're here to support the growth and transformation you've undergone during your isolation phase. One of the most powerful signs that your isolation phase is ending is the desire to share your story with others. During your time of solitude, you likely went through a period of deep personal transformation. You may have faced emotional challenges, healed old wounds, or discovered new insights about yourself and the world. As you come out of isolation, you'll feel a strong urge to express what you've learned. Whether it's through creative outlets like writing, art, or speaking, or simply through more authentic conversations with friends and loved ones, this desire to share is a sign that you're ready to reconnect with the world. Your story has value. The lessons you've learned during isolation can inspire and help others who may be going through similar experiences. You might also find that your communication style changes. You become more open, more vulnerable, and more authentic in how you express yourself. You no longer feel the need to hide parts of yourself, and this willingness to be seen and heard is a clear sign that your isolation phase is ending. During isolation, it's common to feel overwhelmed by emotions, whether it's loneliness, frustration, sadness, or even anger. This is because isolation often forces us to confront unresolved emotions that we've been avoiding or suppressing. You might have felt like you were riding an emotional roller coaster during this phase, with intense highs and lows. However, as your isolation phase comes to an end, you'll notice that your emotional state becomes more balanced. You've done the inner work necessary to process those difficult emotions, and now you're entering a phase of greater emotional stability. You no longer feel as easily triggered by external events or circumstances. Instead, you feel a deeper sense of peace, calm, and emotional resilience. This emotional balance is one of the most important signs that you're ready to step back into the world. You've cultivated the tools and practices needed to maintain a stable emotional state, even in the face of challenges. You are no longer at the mercy of your emotions, and this emotional resilience will serve you well as you navigate the next phase of your journey. After spending so much time in solitude, you'll start to feel a strong desire for connection as your isolation phase ends. It's common to feel a deep yearning for meaningful relationships and community after a period of self-reflection and growth. You may find yourself craving authentic interactions with like-minded individuals who resonate with your energy and values. This desire for connection is a clear indication that you're ready to rejoin the world. You're no longer seeking connection from a place of loneliness or neediness, but from a place of fulfillment. You've learned to be comfortable with yourself during your isolation phase, and now you're ready to share your growth with others. This is also the time when you'll attract people who are aligned with your higher self. As you step out of isolation, you'll find that the connections you form are deeper, more authentic, and more meaningful than ever before. These relationships will support your continued growth and expansion, and they will serve as a reminder that you are never truly alone. Perhaps the most significant sign that your isolation phase is ending is that you feel ready to fully step into your authentic self. Isolation often serves as a time for shedding old identities, limiting beliefs, and societal expectations. During this phase, you may have confronted parts of yourself that you were previously hiding or suppressing. Now, as you near the end of this phase, you feel empowered to embrace your true self without fear or hesitation. You've done the inner work. You've faced your fears, healed old wounds, and aligned with your true purpose. Now, you're ready to show the world who you really are. You no longer feel the need to wear masks or pretend to be someone you're not. You're ready to live authentically and unapologetically as the person you've always been meant to be. If you've resonated with any of these signs, know that your isolation phase is coming to an end, and you're on the brink of a beautiful new chapter. Trust that everything is unfolding in divine timing. The universe is aligning opportunities, connections, and experiences that are meant for your highest good. So, take a deep breath, trust the process, and know that amazing things are just around the corner. Thank you for tuning in. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this message. Until next time, stay aligned, stay grounded, and keep evolving.